are live! Whew. Believe Nation, happy Friday. Friday is my CEO day. So I spend the day working on my big projects to grow my business forward. It's been a big brain day, which is awesome. Big brain day. I'm serious about. I can't even talk anymore. We're only halfway through the day. All right, we're gonna bring in my friend Mark Drager, and we're gonna answer your questions. Here he comes. We're waiting on Mark Drager. There he is.
You can't talk anymore. Isn't that all you do all day?
Maybe. Not on Fridays.
Here, you talk to me, you talk to your team, you talk to people. That's like literally all of your life is talking.
Fridays are usually deep introvert day. Fridays are, and it has been. I had a call before you, and then I talked to you, and then it's been focused work. I'm so excited. It's great. Anyway, okay. Guys, this is the bonus episode of the Something to Prove podcast. Ask us your questions below. Okay, we're going to put that there. We're going to tag it. We're going to pin it. Give us some questions. Mark and I are going to do our best to answer them and give you value. Mark has something to say. What do you got?
Real quick, for everybody listening, Evan likes to make fun of me for living in cow country, right? This came up yesterday on the podcast.
That's not making fun of you. It's just stating fact.
Stating fact. Even though I live in a city of about 180,000 people, he likes to think that I live in cow country. So anyway, just now.
As if like 180,000 people is some giant city. Okay, keep going.
Whatever, it's a town, it's a city. It's not like, listen, we have public transportation. So cities that have cows have just population of 4 people? What is that? No, I would say like I grew up in a town with 8,000 people. And even there, no cows got loose. So I think as soon as you're
I didn't say cows were loose, Mark. I didn't say cows are just roaming. Where are cows just roaming loose in Canada?
I think if you go out west, I think if you go to a little town of maybe like 60 or 70
No.
people,
There's no random cows walking
through their path.
No, Mark. There's no cows that just walk through the town anywhere in this country.
Anyway,
okay?
here's why I thought of you. So I went up north to pick up my motorcycle because I had to leave it there yesterday. And when I was riding back, I thought I'm going to do a little dirt biking on the way. Right? I got to go from my little town to my big city of 180,000 people, and in between is country. And I thought I'm going to do a little dirt biking. So I'm riding along, and guess what darts out in front of me? Not a cow, a wild turkey. Turkey darts out in front of me, and so I kind of give a little rev of my bike to say, like, get out of the way so I don't run you over. And it scares it, and it starts running the same direction as me. So now it's in the middle of the road, weaving back and forth this wild turkey. So I honk at it. It scares it even more and tries to take off and fly and can't. So I had a little fun following a turkey for maybe 1 or 2 minutes until it darted off into the bushes.
And this was near your house?
I would say this is about 15 minutes north of my house, out in the country.
He's Jesus. If you can get anywhere in 15 minutes and see wild turkeys going around, you live in cow country. Anyway. Dude, I've got 21,000 jumps so far already today. Isn't that crazy?
What are you doing? You're doing like lunge jumps?
No, I'm on my trampoline. I'm jumping.
Oh, that kind of thing. Okay.
Apart from when I'm talking to you.
I wanted to update you on cow country talk. For all of my friends.
So we'll hear your update. We won't hear my update. That's fine. All right.
Live near the country. Wild turkeys are fun.
All right. Great. Mark is in cow country. Okay. Rodrigo and books. How are you?
I am great because Evan helped me yesterday and Evan helped me this morning and Evan's been giving me tons of help, and I feed off of other people's energy. So when Evan feels good and I feel good, I think I texted you this morning, best day ever. Didn't I send that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because Mills said she was going to join your podcast.
Yes. I have another podcast, We Do Hard Things, where I interview people talking about how they break through the next level and do hard things whether they want to or not, help overcome fear and doubt. And someone who I reached out to like a month ago and then followed up with this morning said, hey, I would love to join you on your podcast. So that was fun.
Not just someone, the person. When Mark came up with this idea, we forced him into idea to action, and I went and found the ultimate guest for him.
Jill Mills.
Name. No, I don't know her. But you need to get Jill Mills, and they started reaching out, and we finally got her. So that's great. But today, what we went over today is the answer. That is so easy. It's amazing. I'm fired up. You got to execute on it. I don't know. What's our timeline to make that happen? What do you think?
The question was, how are you? Keep going. Let's go.
This impacts how I am, Drager. We just had a great session this morning. We set up Mark's entire stage one future here before he expands and blows up his business. When is that going to be fully executed? What do you think?
On new clients, it can be executed immediately.
You got to go get
existing
them.
clients.
Okay.
I gotta figure out the transition.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Well, how long do you think that transition is?
Maybe 2 or 3 months.
All right, that's not that bad actually.
Yeah.
If you said more than 3, I would be very upset. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Where can we download the Birds audio?
Okay.
I don't know what that even means.
This is an inside thing. This is an
Yeah,
inside
okay.
thing because I recorded out on my patio. I go out every morning to try and get some sun, and I have crazy birds that are amazing, and so it's just nice to be quiet and listen to them. And so I've done that on IG a few times, and Nina asked me to record them for her on Sunday, and I said, why don't you just go to YouTube and type in birds? She said, it's not the same. I said, I'll see if I can do it. I haven't done it. And so now she's chasing me on this.
Wow. It's like when people want the poster of me and my parents. It's like, how do I get that poster from my wall? It's like, why do you want a picture of me and my parents on your wall? It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jaeger birds are special. I agree. I want some Jaeger birds as well.
You got to move out to the country to get them, I guess, Evan?
No, we have birds here. The birds are everywhere. We've had these pigeons that like to sit on our railings.
Not the same.
Okay. Okay. What else? Okay, that one's just for me. Let's get one that we can do with both of us here. Okay. Issue. I try to achieve my goals. My work is converted into normal to pressure. I can't go through my school. I try to achieve my goals. My work is converted into normal to pressure. I can't go through.
My work moves from being normal to being high pressure. I can't get through my at school.
School, I think so. No, SCH.
Okay.
You don't think that's school?
Yeah, maybe.
So he's trying to balance work and school
or maybe
at the
it's
same
schedule.
time.
Maybe it's schedule.
Oh, I can't go through my schedule. Okay, hold on. Read it again. I try to achieve my goals. My work is converted from normal to pressure. I can't get through my schedule. Okay, so somebody's trying to make a schedule and their work is beating down their face. What do you do?
So I think the way that I always think about this is in the moment, try to take a step back. I try to take a breath and I try to figure out what is urgent versus important. You know, so there's this matrix. I don't know. Evan knows the name of it. I don't know the name of it, right? There's 2 lines. There's the urgent line and there's the important line. If something is urgent and important, you have to prioritize it. You have to do it. Most things are not urgent and important. Most things are one or the other. But if something is actually like, you know, something comes up and you have to go help someone because they're in the hospital or they're sick, or you forgot a deadline for something and someone is waiting on you and it's really important that you do this, otherwise you're going to completely lose a relationship, then you drop everything else and you focus on that thing and you ignore everything else and you try to make it up later. But most of our things in our life are actually not urgent and not important, or people focus on the urgent things. They only focus on the things, they wait and wait and wait. They ignore a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, this is due tomorrow. It's due in 2 days. You freak out and then they focus on those things. So look at your calendar, look at your time, look at your schedule, and try to think about the important things. It's important today that I do this. So in 2 or 3 days, I don't have to worry about that. And
okay.
Yeah.
I think he's being pushed on him, right? I think either it's his job or his clients. One of them, I think the problem is he has a schedule. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to understand the question. I think he's got a schedule that he wants to stick to, but then work continues to get in the way. But I'm thinking of like pressures, like your boss or your clients are down your throat saying, I need this.
Right. This is my work. I'm in a service-based industry. I own a marketing agency. If a client calls me up because something is going wrong, right. I have to decide in that moment. Because it's really important to them.
Right.
Does that mean it's important or urgent to me? And is this someone where I have to drop all of my stuff to help them? I have to drop all of my stuff and ignore my important things and even ignore my urgent things is so important. If it is, I'll do that. But if it's not, then I'll try to manage timelines. Listen, what you're asking for, I'd love to help you with, but I can't get to it today. I can get to it tomorrow. What can we do? Is there someone else I can give this to? Like, just, it doesn't have to be on me all the time.
Right.
Now,
I've been on the other side of that. I wanted to help Mark yesterday, and he said, no.
I wanted to. So there's a great example, right? Evan, you're like, we're breaking through this thing. You said, hey, let's talk tonight. And I had to bite my tongue for a second. I felt terrible because I want your help. I want to work on this. but I told my in-laws that I would go to their house. So in my mind, I'm busy going, can I get out of my in-laws? Should I go to my in-laws? Should I make my wife mad? Is it worth making my wife mad so that way I can connect with Evan? Oh, I don't know if that's worth it. That's really going to cost me a lot. Can we Evan do tomorrow? If Evan said, no, I can only do next week, then I would have probably gone and made my wife mad.
Totally worth it. That's totally worth it. For what happened in that session is totally worth it. Anyway, yeah, I like that. One, you either need to put more boundaries and restrictions on it. Two, you need to go find another client or another, like I don't work with clients like that. Could never have a boss like that. Like I'm in a no crisis business.
Evan, but you are that boss to everyone on your team. You decide, hey, we're doing this today.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So like,
I'm totally that guy.
Even though you hate it, everyone on your team, you're switching things around on all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Oh, if you're working with me, you better be able to turn on a dime or you're not working directly with me. Like our ongoing projects that aren't as important, or we already have stability on, great, go run there. But if you're working with me directly, you better be able to go fast and spin like whenever we need to. Yeah, because that's what we're going to create goals.
Coming in and spinning your schedule, right? That's an interesting boundary. You don't want people coming in and spinning your schedule.
No.
Yeah.
But that's the dynamic. Like if you can't handle that, then great. Like you shouldn't be working directly under me, right? That's not how you wouldn't have fun. You wouldn't enjoy it, right? So that's fine. Like that's good awareness, right? The people who are working directly with me love the new stuff that we're constantly working on, right? And then your other option, what was your other option? I had one more idea in my head. We got sidetracked there. I don't remember. Anyway, some good ideas there. Good ideas there for you. Good luck. Good luck, Ishu. We spent a lot of time on that question. So
it was worth it. It was worth it.
Hopefully you found some value. Modern life dating. All right. Hi, Evan. What's the best way to implement your course? I already bought it. YouTube course, I guess, because Movement Makers is
ongoing.
It's ongoing. Yeah. So, Mark, somebody I don't think you've gone through the course. Your team has.
I've put two other people through it,
and you've been to my Thought Leadership Academy. So, as someone who's a burgeoning YouTube talent, tell us how to best apply it.
Often, we go to a course because we think the course is going to help make us awesome. You buy a course, you read a book, you do all of this learning, and it feels like you're making progress. And so you do it. And if you're like me, a bit of an achiever, I went to university or college and I got straight A's. And when I graduated, I was done my courses. I was like, here I am, world. I've learned what I need to learn. I did a great job learning it. Here I am. But learning the stuff and doing the course isn't like it's before the beginning. The beginning is when you actually take the learning and you actually take the stuff that you've worked through and start using it. Going to the course, going to the school, reading the book is not work. It's before the work begins. So what you need to do is, I imagine, working through the course, you've learned a lot of things. If it's the YouTube course, are you creating YouTube videos? Do you have a schedule? Do you know what content you want to create? Are you practicing? Are you focusing more on you on camera than on you on editing? Like, those are the things I would say. The best way to implement it is to do the course, take the learning, and then start working it. Where are you going, Evan?
I had to go get a prop. Oh, Nina, that smells so good. Nina's making some curry or something. It's amazing smelling. Okay, I had to go get a prop because this is.
Dude, I'm making dill sauerkraut at home today. My hands all day.
Sauerkraut's gross, dude.
Dill is so good, though.
Dill is amazing. You just combine like the best thing and the worst thing of all time. Dill is amazing. Yeah. Dill is awesome. Sauerkraut is nasty.
Oh, okay. I love sauerkraut. Anyway,
I don't know if you just. Okay, so here's a book called Swarm Rise. Okay. This was gifted to me by the author, right? So like he signed the book, he gave it to me. This guy basically built this movement. Like, how do you build a movement, right? This is how he did it in Sweden. So I was looking through the book and I was taking some notes and I stopped. Like, I stopped here, right? I don't know what way through the book this is, right? Like a fifth or something. Because he said something in there. A lot of them are notes. Okay, I got ideas, I got it. And then he was talking about having 6 direct reports in his book. and like 6 direct reports. I'm thinking, how do I apply that to my business? And I didn't have the answer yet, so I stopped. I haven't figured out the answer. I'm still working through it. And so I stopped reading the book because I have to finish the step that was in the book, right? So this is how I approach learning. Whenever I'm learning something, whether it's a book or video, a course, something, as soon as I see something that I need to apply, I go off and apply it. So in the YouTube course, there's hopefully lots of nuggets in there that you can apply to your business. I forget how many modules there are. And then there's like bonuses, and then on my split tests. And then it's easy to have, there's so much data. There's so much content in there. It's all my best stuff. Whatever you learn, like start at the top, go through number 1. I think in the first one, you're defining, who your market is. Did you figure that out? If you haven't done that yet, then don't watch the next module. Stop and figure out who you're targeting and what kind of content you're going to create. And if you don't have time to do that yet, or the deep thinking, great, then don't, like, you're doing a disservice by just plowing through the content. Stop. Like if you just took 3 things from that entire course and started to applying them, you would be way further ahead than most people who just buy a course or buy a book. And then most people never even read the book that they bought. Most people never read. It bothers me so much. It's why we created the group. It's why I'm doing monthly live sessions inside the group as well. It's like, I need you to get a result. Come on, let's go, right? And so I don't even worry about you finishing the course or going through all the bonuses, all that material. Like, don't even worry about that stuff yet. As soon as you got one idea from the course, apply it. Pat yourself on the back, and then come back for the next module.
This is actually, I think, a failure in the North American, I'm not sure about Europe, but in the North American school system, is we get rewarded and we feel that we've done stuff for completing the course, right? Like we've done our homework, we've done the work, we've done everything, right? Like we build a mindset of we're going to go out into the real world, and if I've done my work, great. But out here in entrepreneur land, in the real world, it's not quite that simple, right?
All right, next. Antonio, let's go. How to connect and relate, sacrificing your values and beliefs. How to connect and relate, sacrificing your values and beliefs.
So I'm going to be honest with you. There have been lots of times where I've not unintentionally gone against my values because something kind of looks good and it kind of looks right. And I'm thinking, yes, I can kind of make it work if I kind of squint at it, typically in sales, typically in the business, typically when hiring someone, something doesn't quite feel right, but don't worry, I'll be able to work around that. I'll make that work. Like we have a value in the company called, just we won't do it just for the money, right? Like it's never about the money, but I have payroll. I have a lot of payroll. And something comes along and I go, yeah, Evan's eyes. And I go, oh, we could really use the revenue and it's not quite right. It's not quite perfect. And I always live to regret it, man. Like I always just end up finding myself, it becomes too painful. It becomes hard on the team. It just sets me back. It holds me back. It makes me feel bad about myself. Honestly, I think the people who are really successful and maybe even come across a little bit as jerks at first is because people don't understand that they know their values. They know their beliefs, and they're not willing to work with people who do not match up with that or respect that. And nice people like me and nice people probably like you, either don't know really what you value or just are afraid to share it and communicate it because you're going to come across as really aggressive or a jerk or this or that. But if you know your values and if you know your beliefs, all I can say is don't sacrifice them, because later you will live to regret that.
Yeah, I think you learn through the doing as well. I mean, I remember the challenge is when you have two values that compete against each other, and like, which one do I listen to in this scenario? If it's just screaming no, then yes, listen to your gut and go do it. But when you have two competing values, what do? I remember earlier in my career when I was working with an agency client, and I've been doing great work with their team, and they asked me, hey, can you help us out with this other campaign we're doing with American Express? Shout out to American Express.
I like American Express.
And I talked to the team at the time at American Express, and like, oh man, this is going to be a bomb. This is just not going to work. This is a failure for campaign. I can't save it. But the agency who I loved working with, who also got me other clients and who I'm trying to save their skin, is saying, can you please help them out? So I committed to doing 2 different things with them. And it's like, I don't want to do it because I know it's not going to work. And then I want to help my client because I feel bad for them and they've helped me. So I want to help them. So like, what do I do? And so I begrudgingly said yes. And then it was a 2-month deal. And after the first month, it's like, okay, guys, this is just not, I can't help you. Like, this is not working. And I gave them back the money for the second month, maybe even the whole thing. I don't even remember.
But that's how it is, right? Like, it's not usually so clear where it's like, ooh, this is against my morals. This is against my beliefs and my values.
Right.
Because like, it's always this gray areas where you get into trouble.
Yeah, right. If like Mark Jigger asked me to go kill somebody, it's like, no, Mark, like that's an easy no, right? I don't care how much.
If I asked you just to maim someone, like, then you'd be like, maybe.
I don't care how much it's going to help you.
I don't know how to say his name properly. Yancey Strickler. Do you know Yancey Strickler, CEO, co-founder of Kickstarter?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he has a new book out, but I heard him interviewed, and he was talking about this thing he invented called the bento box, which is like after the Japanese thing, right? The bento box is just supposed to be enough food of different varieties to fill you up, but not fully fill you up. Anyway, he has this thing where he talks about how does current me feel about this? How does future me feel about this? What will this give current me versus future me, and all of these things? And it just helps him make these types of decisions because he's able to place himself like, it might be bad for me today, but really good for me tomorrow and really good for other people tomorrow. So then you have to do it. It might be really good for me today, but really bad for me in the future. Well, you shouldn't do it. And it just helps make these types of decisions. If anyone's interested, they can learn about the bento box.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No.
Wow. What's wrong with it?
Because future you is current you. Like, stop living in the future.
Okay.
Don't have a future you. There's
now,
you.
So this is how it works.
Right
now us versus future us. Now me versus future me.
No.
So it helps him prioritize himself versus his relationships now versus the future.
Learn to constantly squish those 2 people together. That you are future you. Start being future you. Start being the person you want to be. Not in 5 years or something. Let's go. I hate the bento box idea. I'm really anti-bento. At least how Draker explained it, I do not like it.
Perfect.
Okay. This is why we have our show. You get different perspectives. What do most people fail to implement?
Everything. Everything,
exactly.
Man. Like
everything.
Everything. So much because either you're a starter, like me, but then the actual implementation never happens, or it's never good enough, or you're a perfectionist, or you're circling, or you never finish, so it never gets implemented. Or you're kind of a closer. There's a lot of people who can finish something off, but getting started is just so daunting and overwhelming and anxiety riddling, and they're afraid that it won't be good enough. And so most people, myself included, spend more time thinking about things and wishing they can do things and planning to do things and reading the books and doing the course and everything else than actually implementing anything. And it is so hard. It takes so much effort to actually build something and put it out there that most people give up. Like, I wouldn't even say halfway through the process. Most people give up either when it's up here in their head, or they give up when it's like week 2 and the shine is worn off and it's really difficult, challenging, and they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think moving from, this is the classic wannabe, my scale of the five stages of personal growth. The wannabe is a person who just doesn't, you buy the courses and you're into personal development and you want to grow and you've got this great idea and you want to serve and you're in it for the right reasons, and then you just don't do it. Like, you just don't consistently build enough momentum. That's where so many people fall down. They read the books, they have the shelves full of it. How many people bought Built to Serve and then didn't read it? Or read it and said, oh, that's really cool, and then go read another book. Like, what did you do about the first book that you just read? Go read it. Like,
can I tell you that if you're someone who can either implement someone else's idea or implement your own, like, that is a next level skill. That will take you super, super far in life because most people never get around to it, right?
Yes. Okay, so Shane,
you don't like me cutting you off, eh? Or like, there's no.
I was on a vibe. I was on a vibe, Mark. It's fine. Shane saying, dang, I love how Evan and Mark don't agree on every point. I think we actually agree. Like, I think if Mark and I actually hashed out the bento box, he'd realize that it's not a great idea. I think we actually agree more than we disagree.
I think that if Evan actually listened to the explanation of it properly, he would come to respect it.
Oh, maybe. Potentially. If I heard
it may not
him,
be for you, but you'd come to respect it from the person who invented it.
Potentially, but I don't think we actually disagree that much. I don't think we disagree that much on some things.
It makes for a better show if we actually disagreed more.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Fine. We disagree more. What was I thinking? What were we talking about the other day? I don't remember now. I'm losing my train of thought.
Cows,
it's been a big thing. Huh?
Turkeys, cows?
No. This is
Nina having a house?
No, what did we disagree on? I don't remember. It's fine. Okay, whatever. Yupsu. Hope I got that. Why don't you add English default subtitles to your videos? I find it very difficult to understand. Do you have subtitles in your videos, Mark?
I have gone in and out of it. I mean, we don't produce nearly the amount of content you put out in terms of just runtime, number of videos, or what have you. But I do know this is something that comes up a lot with our clients, with work, and with other things. It just comes down to cost benefit, right? Like either you have to have a really great AI transcription app, which still makes a ton of mistakes, and just be comfortable putting out mistakes. In which case, why not just use YouTube's terrible AI app? Or you have to pay a service like Rev or something, which costs $1 per minute to put out, and then everything still has to be checked anyway. Or you're going to pay someone to do something. So if you're putting out a few videos here or there, subtitles is always great. It's always great to add. It really does help. But if you're putting out a lot of content, it comes down to what do you value, right? And so if it's going to cost $10,000 a month to add subtitles to all the videos that Evan puts out, what are you laughing about?
I think either way it comes down to what do you value. Either way it comes down. If you make one video a week, it's still what do you value. It's how do I spend that time or money more effectively. Either way, it's YouTube best practice to put subtitles on. I never proved that it worked. So we used Rev for maybe the biggest test ever of Rev, where at least like 700 videos we had natural language, like not AI, somebody going through. None of the videos we couldn't prove anything was better. We even took them and then did captions to other languages, not on that many, not on 700, but none of those did any better. I met the guy from Rev who's presenting at one of the events, and it's fine, I won't say his name, but he's presenting at the event, and I said, hey, I tried you guys like 6 months ago and I couldn't prove that it works. And he said, okay, well, let's do another test. Let me help you. So we did another test of, 20 videos or so. Same thing. Nothing worked. Did not improve results at all. And so what we looked at is like, does it help with watch time? Does it help with SEO, driving more people? And so it's a question of what do you value more? Like, how can I use that budget that I would spend on captioning the videos? It's not that it's zero value. It's just opportunity cost. I'd rather use that money to go and make more videos or to open up another channel or to hire somebody else from my team, right? Whether you're making, I don't know how many videos a day we're at now, like 6 videos a day or once a week. We haven't proven that it works. You got something else, Mark?
No, I mean, I would say though, your version of works is, does it help with runtime? Does it help with all of these things for organic reach? If English is your second language, works for you is like, hey, now I can understand what this video is about.
It's also how is the audience retention? Like, if people can't understand the video, they're not going to watch it. If you give me a video in Russian, I'm not going to watch it because I don't understand what's happening. Mm-hmm. If it had English subtitles, some of our videos we're doing research of somebody in Jack Ma in China. If it's captioned, I understand what he's saying, and then we watch it and we can use it. If it's all in Chinese, it's not going to help because I don't speak Chinese. My husband doesn't speak Chinese. Nina might, but that doesn't help me. So if
Nina can be the new host for the Evan Carmichael
Nina?
China channel.
That's hilarious. Yeah, if they don't understand it, they'll leave. Adding captions had no impact, no measurable impact on people sticking around or not on the videos. So I would have loved to, dude. I'm looking for every hack. That's a super scalable hack. I love something like that. If I could just throw $1 a minute at all my videos and it bumps up my audience retention on every video, we're going to blow up in everything on YouTube. It just didn't work. People don't care enough about it.
Last question.
Last question. Oh, we're at time, dude. We're at time. I got to go. So
you got to go? You got a heart out?
Yeah. So people want to find the Something to Prove podcast. Where are they going, Mark?
They can check out Something to Prove podcast on Apple Podcast, on Google, on Stitcher, on all of the places where you find your audio listening podcast things.
All right. Happy weekend for this group, and whenever it gets released.
Happy Independence Day for our American friends. How about that?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Ciao.
Ciao.